we don't see each other in person, and we look at the goals I've already accomplished, look at how much we talk and how we've checked in and how you've just helped me so much so far. Literally life changing, for sure. Like I said, in all aspects, like with my kids, with my husband, working, coaching, everything about my life has significantly changed for the better. And I think that, that's possible for anybody. And I think if you're considering it, you just need to make the jump.
All right, everybody, Vanessa here. I have Diamond here with me. Super excited to share her story. She is 22 pounds down in just about 16 weeks, which is amazing. So we're going to dive right into these questions, and really, I'll turn the mic to you, Diamond, and say, what really motivated you to start training with Right to Fitness?
So I think I got to a point where I wasn't really happy with myself, and, I knew that I could be doing better for, waking up in the morning and getting ready for work. And, that struggle, always it's a struggle trying on clothes, but especially when you don't feel good in your clothes, that's when it's a problem. And, I noticed that it was starting to affect everything. So it was like, I would wake up, I would already start the day like, oh, like, what am I going to eat for breakfast or lunch? Or am I not going to eat today? Like, what kind of unhealthy habits am I going to, perpetuate today? So I think it really came down to waking up one day and just being like, I'm tired of being unhappy with myself, and I know what's wrong, but I can't help myself. So I need to look somewhere where someone's going to help me, get better at this.
I love that. And I know obviously you have a family and you have two little kids around. And I know that was a big motivator for you too, keeping up with those young boys that you have. So have you previously tried anything else to achieve these goals?
So nothing with, someone who has, professional experience helping me. I think another problem that I had was, feeling like, you're educated, you're a teacher, and you have 2 degrees and you coach, and your husband does like strength training with his, he coaches. So you should know what to do. Like, you need to eat this, and you need to, lift, and you need to run, or like do X, Y, and Z. But obviously I didn't know any of that. Like, I honestly didn't truly know, like, even knowing what to eat, I didn't learn until I started working with, Right to Fitness. So I tried, working out on my own. I tried fasting, where I was only eating through like an 8-hour window of the day. That like crashed and burned horribly, because I would find myself not getting home till 9 or 10 at night, and I'm starving. So then I'm like crash eating at night, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'll start again tomorrow. Everything from like, I found success, of course, with not eating any carbs, but there was a time when I like almost passed out on the way home from the gym because I had no energy. So nothing healthy, nothing healthy for me, and nothing that was successful. But yeah, so that's why it was like a constant trial of try this, fail. Oh, well, I'll try again tomorrow. Oh, well, I already messed it up today. I might as well just like eat the whole weekend badly. And then like, I'll start again Monday. Oh, Monday's horrible. So it's just a constant cycle of, I obviously can't do this on my own.
Yeah. You're not alone there. There's a lot of people out there like that. That's for sure. Kind of touch on this, but why did these other programs or products not work for you? You didn't use any products, but why did you feel like those other things didn't work out?
So yeah, like I said, I just felt like with my schedule, the fasting obviously it wasn't practical for me, because I was eating from, I would like, one time I tried from like 11 to 7, and then I would try from 12 to 8. And then when you go to work, when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then you work, I teach, and then you can't eat until noon, your schedule sometimes doesn't allow for that. So then you find yourself not eating until 1. And then if you push it into the night, like I said, it couldn't be consistent. It couldn't be the same 8 hours every single day. When you're up from, like, obviously, like I said, 16, 18 hours a day, it just wasn't practical for me. And then of course, like with the carbs, I mean, I feel like you get to a point where you're just starving. For me, I was just starving. Like, it was nice. It was great eating eggs and like, whatever veggies all the time, or like lettuce all the time, but it didn't work for me. It just wasn't practical. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel I didn't feel like I was healthy, because I didn't have energy. I didn't have strength. I couldn't lift. I couldn't run. So I found all myself was being able to do was go to the gym and walk. And even that was a struggle sometimes. So yeah. So I think that's why. And like I said, for me, I think I never had any accountability either with any of those, like who's checking in on me and making sure I'm okay and doing the right things. So it was easy to wake up and be like, I'm not going to do this today. It's fine. Cause who knows? No one knows. No one is, watching and helping me. So that to me is a huge thing too. Like I almost do better when someone's like, okay, did you do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes so much sense. Like, I feel like you hear all these other things out there that might work for somebody, but then you try to make them work for you. And then it doesn't, like you said, and then it's like, you're starting over again and spinning your wheels. Like, why isn't this working for me? And,
right.
you know, you need something for you, you know, that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing there. Okay, cool. So how did you feel before starting your transformation program?
So honestly, I was so excited. I remember like my husband and I had sat down and we were talking about it, and he was excited because he knew that it was something that had been weighing on me. And I think obviously personally, like Vanessa, you and I had that conversation about how it's not his job to hold me accountable for what I'm trying to do. And that really resonated like in our relationship. And we sat down and we talked about that. And, opening up and realizing that too, because I lean on him for a lot, it's really just the two of us all the time. So, being able to sit down with him and, tell him like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this, and him being like, yes, like we'll grocery shop together. I'll cook for you. Like whatever you want to do, let's do that. So I couldn't have had like any better support, after talking to you, after talking to Derek, everybody that I had talked to about it, my mom, I talked to about it, everybody was so supportive. So I was so excited to just like jump in. I was like, you could have told me like, all right, you're going to have to go outside and run up and down your stairs 100 times a day. And I would be like, yes, yes, let's do it. Cause everybody was so like, the atmosphere for me, the support was just incredible. So I just couldn't wait.
That's awesome. Up until that point, like you were feeling pretty tired, run down. I know you had mentioned about you coach basketball. So that was something that stuck out to you, like wanting to keep up with your kids. Can you just elaborate on, physically how you're feeling, leading up to there?
I think it's hard to admit. It's hard to admit that you're not taking care of yourself. It got to a point where when I was talking to Derek, I almost started crying because it makes you upset that you're not, like I said, I would chalk it up to, oh, I'm not feeling well. Well, I was sick, or I am teaching a lot. I'm awake a lot of the day. So it's easy. I found it easy for me to, blame everything but the fact that I wasn't eating well. I wasn't working out. I wasn't taking care of myself. So that was like a hard reality. Leading up to that was finally sitting down and being like, no, you're really just not doing as much as you can be. And then, I would see, it sounds silly, but I would see like families at the track together. And like, I'm not foreseeing that my family is going to go to the track and run every single night, but seeing, families like that and realizing, I want to be able to run around with my boys. I don't want them to think like, oh, daddy's the only one who can go because mommy sits at home and just does whatever, or she stays home and she doesn't come out and, become active with us. And, and I would get tired chasing my kids around at the park. I mean, I know obviously that will happen being there after 2 hours anyway, but there were times when I was like, wow, I'm really tired. And we've only been here for 15 minutes. So that to me was also, a big eye opener. Like my kids aren't even in sports or activities yet, and I'm already not being able to keep up. So that was, yes, also a huge motivator. And like I told you, coaching, like when I coach, I'm like, coaching teenage girls. And when we're in the weight room, like I want to, I don't want them to be like, well, you can't like run the mile with us. So like, why are you like barking at us the whole entire time?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I want to be able to, keep up with them and, get some credibility in that sense with them.
For sure. I love that. So we're about 16 weeks in, and I believe we're kind of at pretty close to your first goal, but what was your first goal when starting out?
So, 50 pounds total is my entire goal. But, also like just look the way that I look, being able to take pictures. Like there was a time when I would look through my camera roll for like any significant, to post on social media, like happy birthday to whomever. And there were times when I'm looking through and I'm like, why am I not in any of these pictures? And like, thinking back, it's because I never intentionally was like, oh, don't get me in this, or like, oh, I don't want to take this, but I never welcomed myself into taking pictures. So that was another thing. It was like losing 50 pounds. I wanted to go back into this school year feeling good, wearing a swimsuit on vacation this summer and not being, not even thinking twice about it. And like I said, like wanting to be back in pictures, and all of those still have, I still have a way to go. But as far as pictures, like I welcome them. Being in my bathing suit was great. Like I felt really, really good being in my swimsuit, because I was in my swimsuit a couple of times over the course of the year last year and like different trips. And was not very happy with that and didn't want like pictures or anything. So yeah, as far as my goals go, I'm really happy. I'm like, taking pictures and being in my swimsuit, and I'm happy going to work. Like, I got new work clothes. I went down in my pant size. I went down in my shirt size. Like, that's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love these interviews so much. I get to hear so much about what you guys have been doing. That's so cool. How do you feel now, and how do you feel like your life has changed?
So I feel great. I feel for myself, it's nice. Like, it was nice, when people notice, because I think my face was the first thing, and people, that's obviously the first thing people see about you most of the time is your face. So that's been nice. My mom has been she's been really good with having like those deeper conversations and not just being like, wow, you look great, because that's nice, but also being like, how do you feel? It's nice to have those conversations about it being deeper than just like the way that I look. Like, I feel it's changed my emotional state. My husband has noticed that too, just being so much happier and like more welcoming of the day, where I felt like I was slipping into a place where, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to socialize with people. And especially in the summer, because you have to wear, you don't have to, but you're going to be hot if you wear long sleeve clothes and pants. You should wear shorts and shirts so you're not sweating. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So it just really affected my life more than I thought. And being like this summer, these past, few months, I've just felt so good and just ready and, anticipating working out and wanting to eat better. Days when I've had some days where I didn't eat as well as I had been, and I honestly did feel sick. Like, I was like, no wonder this was your life for the past 2 years. It's not like conspiracy, like, it's real. You're putting not good things into your body and you feel very, very badly. So also getting to see that was like, wow, okay, now you know what it's like if you don't do this anymore, you're going to go back to feeling like that. And no, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that. And I know, obviously we know each other personally, and we've got to talk to Ryan as well, but I love that it has, do you feel like it's like changed your relationship in any way? I know you said your mental state and your emotional stuff. Has it helped or changed it in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, of course, like you said, mentality, when you come home, and my mentality is more positive, and I'm happier, and I'm not like, oh, leave me alone. Actually thinking that when he's like, oh, you look beautiful today, like actually believing that and feeling like, oh yeah, you know what, I do look good today. Like, you're not just saying that, like, I do look good. And it's like, so helping us, like, that physical connection, husband and wife, like wanting to like, okay, yeah, I'll let you hug me, or like, yes, let's hold hands. Whereas before I was like, oh, like, you're just doing that just to do that, even though I don't think that's true. But what's he gonna say? It's a no win for him, essentially. Like, he's not gonna be like, yeah, no, don't wear that, or no, you don't look good today. But yeah, I just think like mentally, emotionally, physically, complete game changer. Like, everything, where like I would be trying to keep my distance from him at times. Like, now I'm like, nope, like, I want to be with you all the time.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what aspects of our coaching have you most enjoyed?
So, of course, I've loved everything. I think the workouts have been great. I'm always sore. I'm stretching, but I'm always sore, which is good, because I feel that makes me feel obviously like I'm being productive. As far as meal planning goes, I love that I don't want to say optional. I'm trying to think of how to word it, but it's not just you saying, okay, for breakfast, you're going to eat this, for lunch, this, dinner, this. I love that freedom to find what works. And the fact that, like, I just love whenever you were like, you can have a burger for breakfast if you want to. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like, you can eat whatever you like. You can have that as long as you're incorporating everything you need to have. So I love that. I love the realness too. Like, when we talk, and, every time when you like reassure me that I'm not alone, or that even like when you guys have gone through it, because it's, I think sometimes you tend to look at like, you, Derek, other trainers as like, almost not human. Like, oh, like, of course they have, every day's a great day, and they always have good lifts, and they get stronger every day, and they're eating well every single day. So that realness of like, that you guys also, go through days when you're like, oh, I don't really feel like lifting today, or like, oh, I didn't have such a good workout today. That to me is amazing, because I think sometimes when people try to put on a front and act like everything's all like, sunshine and rainbows all the time, personally, that would turn me away because I wouldn't feel like you could relate. I would feel like I couldn't tell you when I was having a bad day. So I love that. Like I can be completely open. I'm not going to be scolded for, oh yeah, I didn't get to my workout today or, whatever. And you just help me figure out how to incorporate or how to get better. That's what I love, because that's what's practical, is how do I, it's okay, get over it, next day, let's get back to it and figure out how we can adjust so that this doesn't happen again. That to me is like everything about your program. I love that.
Aw, I love that too. I love that you love that. That's good. You had mentioned earlier about the accountability. Do you feel like that's been helpful for you too, throughout the last 16 weeks here?
Yes, absolutely. And I love too, because it's friendly check-ins. It's not like, well, I was looking at this and you didn't do X, Y, and Z, or like, no, I don't really like what you did today. I like that it's always a conversation. It's guiding. It's like, hey, yeah, you need to do this, or, adjust this, or that wasn't enough of this. That's what I like. But I like that it's not, it's not you like reprimanding me. It's always a good conversation, and you guys keep that door open for that communication. I think that's just, it makes it so much, it makes me feel better. It makes me, and it makes me want to work harder. It makes me want to make sure it never happens again because of the conversation, the time you take out of your day to help me make adjustments. That makes me not want to, I don't want to say disappoint, but for a lack of better words, it makes me not want to disappoint you guys because you're not scolding me, and you're not making me throw everything away because of one bad day or one mistake, which is, of course, like I said, that's what I love about you guys.
When you came on, obviously we were 24 weeks, is our time together. So we still have a couple more weeks together, which I'm really excited about. So what new goals do you have now moving forward?
So I still would like to, obviously lose the weight that I have left. Like I would love to do that. And then I'm trying, still clothes wise, like I don't have like a size target that I'm looking for, but my goal is to be able to wear, maybe like some better fitting clothes, dresses, things that I feel like are a little bit more, accentuate your body a little bit. That's what I would like, I think. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Of course, swimsuit improvement, but unfortunately, I don't think I'll be in my swimsuit until probably next summer. I have no trips in the foreseeable future, but yeah, so I think that's my losing the rest of my weight. And then I'm always still trying to find meals that I really like. I'm always still experimenting with like, what do I want to eat? And then, yeah, I think, like I said, better fitting clothes and maybe feeling like a little, like I could wear some tighter things and not be like so self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. It's not like a number, like you're not looking to get into a certain size, but just some form-fitting clothes. I love that.
Yes.
So last question, what would you tell anyone who is thinking about working with Right to Fitness?
I think that after the first conversation you have, you will know that it is a decision that you need to make. Like you should definitely jump into it. Like I said, I just feel like I don't know who would not be, I don't know who wouldn't want to do all of those things or that I talked about you guys already. Like I don't know who wouldn't want that. And I just think, like I said, it's just there's no excuse. It's like we don't see each other in person, and we look at the goals I've already accomplished, look at how much we talk and how we've checked in and how you've just helped me so much so far. Literally life changing, for sure. Like I said, in all aspects, like with my kids, with my husband, working, coaching, everything about my life has significantly changed for the better. And I think that that's possible for anybody. And I think if you're considering it, you just need to make the jump.